Miami, West Palm, or Naples. Winds expected to be fairly light again today, so not a big problem. West Coast, 15 to 25 mile per hour winds. We're looking for some sunshine and hot weather again, interior southwest, but a few clouds in the northwest. And the national radar will show us that batch of rain, the same one that brought as much as 8 inches in the Midwest Wednesday night, yesterday, Kentucky, Indiana, and Tennessee, now it's making its way to the Mid-Atlantic. And we'll welcome some heavy rains here because the ground is dry, but if you're traveling, these are the kind that can really slow you down, reduce visibility, and maybe even cause some flooding problems. No flash flood watches out as of yet, so some good news there. But wet roadways from D.C. back to Jackson, Mississippi. And also out here on the plains, we have some thunderstorms northwest Iowa so far. More to come, some heavy rain out there, and possibly more severe weather. Looks like this time it'll be north of Denver. They had kind of a rough go of it yesterday afternoon, and we're going to show you some pictures from Denver coming up shortly. But we want to remind you that looks like there may be some severe weather coming out into the Dakotas, a front lifting northward here, and that area of low pressure will not only bring the heavy rain and possible flooding to the Mid-Atlantic, but there may be some severe weather in there as well. So we'll be watching these two areas as thunderstorms build through this afternoon. Radar's coming up shortly. Stick around. Places like southern Indiana back through Missouri and into North Texas, and then parts of Utah as well, California coastline, everywhere else, pretty much on the low side, so I shouldn't be giving you too many problems. Now, if mold spores are the thing that make you start sniffling and sneezing, probably not too happy. All of the warm and muggy weather in southeast tends to bring them out. So wet weather, not only from rain, but also from the high humidity. And it's highest at this point in the red zone, so the top of the list, anywhere from Minneapolis to Green Bay, Detroit, and on over towards Buffalo, while out towards the west and generally dry weather and low humidity, they don't have a big problem with it at this point. The heat index, this has been a story that has been rearing its ugly head many times this summer, and at this point it looks like the East Coast is doing okay after a miserable July where you had to stay indoors in the air conditioning most of the month. You can get out, but Texas, Arkansas, and into Oklahoma, heat advisories have been issued, and it'll feel like it's 105 again today.
Comfy, huh? Yes, Mom. Because you weren't last
few days, and last night one little lone thunderstorm cell showed up around Philadelphia. Let's take a look at it on radar. Probably woke you up, got some heavy rain. They actually were very much in need of rain through here, so that was good, but a lot of lightning there, and again, kind of a rough go. Went through Atlantic City, and now it's out over the open waters. As a matter of fact, most of Pennsylvania is seeing some sunshine at this point. We'll still be dealing with some cloud cover through the northeast, and a little bit of green showing up on the map, so a few spits here and there, but not much as of yet. We'll see if any thunderstorms develop later this afternoon. A little bit farther to the south, we already have the rain, a couple of thunder showers around Richmond to Petersburg and heading on over towards Norfolk, but the more concentration of rain, the heavier concentration, would be around Greensboro to Raleigh-Durham, where it's basically a steady light rain moving on through, and this is a good thing. We'll get some good soakers out of this, it looks like, and some thunderstorms along the coast. Let's take you back then to Georgia and to Alabama, where, again, they need the rain, so much of the south actually will welcome all of this, even though it will make for a gray day. You may see some big thunderstorms. They've already had some of those around Huntsville. They're moving on out, heading downstream about 25 miles per hour. So Gadsden to Anniston and Atlanta can look for some rain in the next couple of hours. Florida's had its share of rough weather this week, so we're happy to say that today things look pretty good. Let's take a look first off at the wide-angle satellite, and we can see that Florida pretty much in the clear. There we go. Down to the Caribbean, actually some cloud cover here, but nothing really tropical in nature, which is a good thing. If you want all of the details on the tropics, that comes up at 48 minutes past the hour. Now let's go back to that close-up view, and you'll see that most of the state right now seeing sunshine, some thunderstorms off the coast, and probably a few thunderstorms building this afternoon, especially likely in the world, as well as President Clinton headed for Denver yesterday to meet up with the Pope. He came in under some cloud cover. They had to actually break out the umbrellas. The latest satellite picture will show us where the clouds and the thunderstorms have gone. We then later in the day or the evening, nighttime hours, picked up big thunderstorms in Kansas that have really died out now. We're picking up thunderstorms at this point up into Iowa, and it looks like in and around Denver, maybe a little bit of cloud cover today and about a 30% chance of some thunderstorms. So it doesn't really look like severe weather. That's some good news. Northwest Georgia and into Alabama. They've seen some heavy rain around Huntsville. Looks like that's about to move on out. They're picking up the rain now. Gadsden to Anniston. Rome getting light rain. And Atlanta, so far, you're dry, but keep your fingers crossed. Your lawn should get a good soaking within the next couple of hours as this line comes through. And looks like really all of Georgia and the Carolinas And Alabama as well should get some pretty good rains today. Some needed rains for that matter. Not so needed out here, that's for sure. We're trying to still clean up from the messes of July. The mess created again Wednesday night, and unfortunately it looks like more rain coming through. The good news is this batch of big thunderstorms in Kansas, once it moved on over the border just so far, and you can see that Virginia is not picking up too much rain. May see some thunderstorms throughout the afternoon, or maybe around Norfolk, probably south of Richmond, and then coastal North Carolina getting some big thunderstorms, and then it's a steady light rain from Raleigh to Greensboro to the south of Roanoke and around Danville. Looks like the rain just about to move on out. And as it continues working to the south and east, that low sort of pushing it all along, we'll probably see more thunderstorms developing here later this afternoon, so we'll have to be watching for strong, maybe severe thunderstorms. The rain's now moving in around Atlanta, a few sprinkles here and there. Looks like a thunderstorm just northeast of town, right around Lake Lanier. Rain and thunderstorms have brought some heavy rain already this morning around Huntsville. Looks like it's moved out, and that rain has moved down towards Gadsden and Anniston in Alabama. Let's take you to the Midwest. Well, here we go again. Looks like another round of thunderstorms, and as I mentioned, in northwest Iowa, just starting to pull northeastward. Minneapolis may see some rain with this one, and we're probably going to see more thunderstorms developing down into Missouri. Kansas and Nebraska stand the chance of seeing thunderstorms as well, and a few thunderstorms now developing in the Black Hills of South Dakota, where they may see some fairly heavy rain. Threat of severe weather looks like with that low, not only heavy rain, possibly some flooding problems here in the southeast, 2.5 inches of rain and some severe weather. And then looks like the thunderstorms that are in Iowa will not produce severe weather, but could be fairly strong North and South Dakota, where it'll be hottest the next few days. It was fairly hot there yesterday, and heat advisories are out as the heat index may be around 105 to 110 degrees. A lot like what we saw through most of the month of July on the East Coast, but it's cooled down there. West Coast hasn't had a whole lot of hot weather this summer. Full sunshine today. The Southwest kind of hot yesterday. Tucson was 108. You can see some cloud cover in the vicinity now, but looks like the monsoonal moisture sort of cut off at the pass, so we're not going to see as much rain or cloud cover, and it will be fairly hot again this afternoon. Check the temperatures right at this hour. 92 in Oklahoma City, 94 in Dallas, and 95 in Little Rock. Factor in the humidity and the heat index, it goes up to about 105 already in some spots. The forecast will show that area of low pressure and the rains moving through the Dakotas into Minnesota, and by tomorrow afternoon we may see some stronger thunderstorms developing just out ahead of this next cold front cutting on through the plains. Southeast, that low moves out, but